American presence in Iraq. Okay, we got people, we got contractors, we got soldiers, and we got mercenaries there. Okay, now Iran doesn't like us, and we don't like Iran, but we can't.
Okay, if just a feedback to Vaush, Iranians, again, you know what? This is me getting influenced by people from Iran who language police me. Whenever and whenever I talk like that, people are like, "Hey, Armin, say the Iranian government.
Yeah.
We love America." All right, okay, fine. The Iranian government doesn't like United States. Okay, so every time you say Iran doesn't like United States, there are so many people from Iran who get butthurt. They're like, "Hey, don't group us with the government. We love America." Okay,
I think there's some people in Iran who like America a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think so. True.
I was talking to one person. He wanted Trump. He wanted me to vote for Trump so that Trump would essentially start a land war with Iran, and I'm like, no.
No, there's too many Trump supporters in Iran.
Can't do a direct war with Iran for a wide variety of reasons. It would be very bad for us and for them. Okay.
Wait, what did he say? I was distracted by Maggie's compliment of him. Go.
We can't start a direct war with Iran because it's bad for both parties.
Yeah, true. Oh my God, this is gonna get me canceled for so many Iranians. By the way, a lot of Iranians in Iran are like, "Come bomb us, save us, bomb us." God, Susie, there are some people in Iran that say that even if you, oh my God, I can't even say it. You know what? I can't say it because I don't know. Yeah, YouTube be crazy, so I might think I'm saying it. Okay, they're suggesting United States do things to Iran that is considered war crimes. Okay, and they're like, it's fine if so many people die in Iran. It's worth the cost if we get saved from this regime. That's how far some Iranians go. Like they're like, even if you take out the main city, okay?
Oh, I know. I've talked to some of them.
Yeah, they're like, at least the rest of they're like
Hiroshima level stuff.
Okay, let me tell you guys how bad this. I mean, so here's how it is. Okay, I remember when I was in Iran, when I was in school, when United States attacked Iraq, right, to take that Saddam, there were all of this, like my classmates, we were in the yard in the school, and everybody was shouting, "We are next, we are next, we are next, we are next." Like they were like celebrating that because the axis of evil were like North Korea, Iraq, and Iran. So they thought naturally, if they're taking out Saddam first, they're gonna come and take the Ayatollahs next. And they were like, so many people in Iran were so excited and looking forward for United States to attack Iran next. It was something. But that optimism died down. It's still there by a lot of people, and they're still waiting for that. But it has been significantly less given what they saw happen to Iraq in the decade after. But anyways.
Hey guys, before we get back to that video, YouTube has fully demonetized our channel for supposedly hateful and harmful conduct, without telling us what we did wrong. If we get to 1,000 patrons, we will be able to keep paying all our team, our editors, our artists without ever having to worry about monetization again, which would be amazing. Yay! So please support Atheist Republic on Patreon. Link in the description below.
Iran knows that if they go ahead fucking boots on the ground marching into Iraq, because they don't like Iraq that much either, that would also be bad for them because it would justify a coalition strike on their country.
Wait, what? Iran's government is in Iraq.
Yeah, rewind that.
What are you talking about?
For us and for them, okay? And Iran knows that if they go ahead fucking boots on the ground marching into Iraq, because they don't like Iraq that much either.
What do you mean Iran doesn't like Iraq? Iran loves Iraq. They own Iraq. I mean, I take by
de facto.
De facto. Wait, what do you mean Iran doesn't like Iraq? This is like, are you thinking about the like war Iran and Iraq used to have? Iran.
Maybe he means the U.S. presence in Iraq.
Okay, wait, Iran is in Iraq.
Yeah.
Iran is not only doesn't have troops in Iraq, Iran is also in Iraq's government. Iran is in Iraq's parliament. Iran is almost, they're just waiting for the United States to leave, and Iran will fully own, this will become, is close to becoming an Iranian province. Right? They just need the Americans to leave.
That's what
and
they
they're
want.
like, whoops. Yeah, they were like, yep, can you guys like leave already so we could just like add this as one of our
Part of the
colonies?
Shia Empire.
This is Iraq is about to become an Iranian colony. What do you mean they don't like? They are dominating, like they're bailing their Shia crescent. Iraq is part of the Shia crescent.
Yeah.
Syria, here, the crescent starts from Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Iran, the center, the fat part of the crescent, and it goes all the way down here to Yemen. That's the crescent. And guess who's in the middle of that crescent? And that's why they're like losing their minds. And Saudi Arabia is right deep in the middle of the crescent. And they're noticing this crescent is just tight like all around them. Why do you think they're panicking? Why do you think they're panicking all the time? But what do you mean? Okay, what do you mean they're not going to go troops? Like, what do you think this article that you read at the beginning? What do you think Shabi and Katabu Hezbollah is? That's Iran's troop on the ground in Iraq.
I don't know what he's thinking.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding him. And yeah, they like when this is okay. Vaush, if you want to be anti-US imperialism, this is how you need to be anti-US imperialism. Iraq was Iran's the Ayatollah's baby, and Saddam was holding it away from them.
Mm-hmm.
So United States made the mistake. Well, I mean, hindsight is 2020, but removed Saddam, and Iran was like, oh, thank you. Oh, you freed our baby. You freed our baby. This used to be part of the Sassanid dynasty. This was part of the Persian Empire. You see this Baghdad? This is Ctesiphon. Do you know Ctesiphon was the capital of Iran? This is the capital of Iran.
We're back in business, baby.
This is Iran. This is like, guys, here's another thing. If you guys want to be anti-US imperialism, okay? These are borders that were drawn by Westerners. These are made-up countries that were drawn by, right? So Iran is like, yeah, you guys drew these. We don't recognize this. And now you remove Saddam, your dictators, and now you're removing those dictators, and we're like, okay, thank you so much. We're going to put this back where it belongs now, which is Iran's empire. Right? Okay. Anyways, let's continue.
That would also be bad for them because it would justify a coalition strike on their country.
Okay, wait. Ooh, Susie. So he's saying that if Iran has troops in Iraq, that would justify a coalition strike against their country. So given that we know that they do have troops in Iraq, is Vaush saying that it's justified right now to do a coalition strike against Iran?
Maybe he hasn't explicitly said so, and I watched the majority of the rest of this video, and I don't think he does say this, but maybe he's taking the position that these aren't
Iranian citizens?
That, but also like these are resistance outfits, basically. Like these are methods of resistance to U.S. imperialism. So it's like not the same. Although I haven't, because
okay, before I forget. Yes, these are Iran's resistance to U.S. imperialism for the sake of its own imperialism.
Yes.
Yeah, they are the resistance.
That's the distinction.
Yeah, it's not like anti-imperialist versus imperialist. It is one imperialist versus another imperialist.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, by the way, for people so here's another thing. These like a lot of people here are so racist against Arabs, right? So a lot of people are like, well, Iran is clever, right? Iran's government is clever because to make sure to make it so that the United States and other countries don't have an excuse to attack Iran directly, they don't use the military that they have at home, which is filled with Iranian citizens. They have proxies which are paid for by Tehran, but they're not Iranian. Like they have militia groups, they have Ex-Shia, Kataib Hezbollah, and a whole bunch of other groups, right? And they're all Iranian proxies, but they're filled with Iraqi citizens, okay? But again, you have to understand that for a lot of these people here, Iraqi citizen and Iranian citizen, they're Shia. They're Shia, and that means that they're part of like the same nation. You know what I mean? They're part of the same empire. And there's two different kinds of ideologies that is pro-imperialism in Iran. One is this Shia crescent, so bringing back like the Safavid dynasty, and then you have the nationalist ideology that is also for this form of imperialism, which wants to bring back the Sassanid dynasty rather than the Safavid dynasty, right? And they see these Iraqis not as their brothers in Shia Islam. They see these as fake Arabs, okay? They see these as brothers, and as in they're Persian, and they are good. They are their brothers. They're not bad people because they're not Arab. This is according to them.
Yeah.
They're like, just because you speak Arabic, that doesn't make you Arab. You guys are Persian. And this is why a lot of
decolonize your mind, bro.
They have, yeah, again, this is the third. Okay, so guys, this is the fight between three different empires, okay?
Yeah.
The Islamic Empire, the Persian Empire, and the American Empire, okay? So they're like, Iran is fighting against two empires here, the Islamic Empire and the Western Empire, right? It's very interesting because in Persian they both sound the same, Arabi and Garbi and Arabi and Ebri, which is Zionism, right? So the Ebri, Garbi, they're all just a dot away, and it's so cool. Anyways, but that's too much detail. But what I'm saying is that they think like, so here's the thing: these nationalist Iranians, they think like the true people that they need to hate are the real Arabs, which are the Gulf Arabs, right? Between Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, and all. Those are the real Arabs that they're racist against. And they're like trying to tell these people, guys, you're not really Arab. You're one of us, right? And this is why a lot of these nationalists who are even anti-Islam nationalists, they are getting united with the Islamic government. Even though they hate Islam, they're kind of liking what the Ayatollahs are doing, especially because, like, look, guys, the Iranian government is building schools in Iraq, and they're not just teaching them Islam, they're also teaching them Farsi. They're teaching them Persian. They're bringing them back. They're teaching them how to speak their true language.
Decolonize your mind.
They're decolonizing them. They're bringing them back home. They're bringing them back home. They're bringing back the capital. Recognize that you're Iranian. Just understand your inner Aryans. Let your inner Aryans. Let your inner Aryans.
It's inside all of us.
It's inside all of us. And guys, and here's another thing they tell them. Okay, they tell guys like, yeah, guys, you're anti-Islam. Don't worry, we're anti-Islam too. Shia Islam is not really Islam. This is like Shia Islam is, don't tell anyone. It's that's Zoroastrianism. It's like fake Islam.
Thing that they're trying to say.
They're like, it's fake, or it's Zoroastrian, because they're like, they try to impose Islam on us, and we basically, Iranians were so clever that they made like they kept their Zoroastrianism and they hid it in the form of Shiism, and they have so many proofs, like the correcting the like look, these are like Ali represents this in Zoroastrianism, and this in Shia Islam represents this in this. Guys, we're resisting against Islam, and we kept Zoroastrianism, and we were pretending like we're Islam so that they leave us alone. This is how we managed to resist against true Islam, okay? And they're like, here's their main proof. Are you ready for it? Their main proof for this is like, guys, we're the country of kings. We used to be kings, right?
We was kings.
We was kings before Islam, right? And like, look at Shia Islam, okay? Look in Sunni Islam, they have caliphs and stuff, right? Like, well, you know, like you had Abu Bakr, Umar, Osman. They like, oh my God, they brought it, like they had this democracy. Democracy is a Western concept, okay? Your mind is Westernized, right? But we used to be monarchs. And look at Shia Islam. Who became the Imam after Ali? His son, and then his second son, and then Hussein's son, and then his son. What does that sound like? Does that sound like Sunnism? Does that sound like Islam to you? That sounds like monarchy. The son and the son, it's heredity. This is like we're bringing back the monarchy. Proof Shia Islam is not real Islam. Anyway, Sunnis, by the way, love that. Sunnis are like, yeah, you're right. Shia Islam is not real Islam. You guys like it.
They be kufr.
Like, this is why anti-Islam Iranians and Sunni Muslims anti-Shia Sunni Muslims could unite in calling Shia Islam fake Islam.
This is like the Always Sunny meme of the guy with the strings on the walls.
Yes.
Like,
all right. Guys saying democracy is not a Western concept. Guys, I'm just telling you what they're saying. God damn it.
So instead, Iran funnels money into militia groups all around the Middle East. Soleimani was very good at doing this, including...
Wait, the money goes directly from here to here as well.
Some in Syria, and some of those in Syria rocket striked Americans and coalition forces in Iraq.
Guys, the proxies are inside Iraq. It doesn't just go this like this to this. Okay, I mean, this happens. Iran has proxies in Syria, but Iran has proxies inside Iraq's government as well. But yeah, this does happen. Iran has many ways of funneling money to places. By the way, with the Soleimani funneling money, what happened? Like, one thing Soleimani was really good at. One of the examples was Hamas just flying to Tehran, filling back bags, like suitcases, as much as they could carry with US dollars, and they're just flying back. That was like as straightforward as that. Hamas, Soleimani, like, how much do you need? And like, as much as you can give. Or like, how much can you carry? The limitation was how much dollars can you carry? That was the limitation.
And then, in response, Biden authorized a missile strike against an arms depot controlled by one of these militia groups and killed 22 people. The 22 people that were killed were combatants, to the best of our knowledge. We are not talking about like civilians or contractors. We're talking about militia groups who have been radicalized and funded.
Thank you, Biden.
In part of a campaign against American military interventionism.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Kali, like me, then that means that you probably want more blasphemous art. Well, I have good news for you. If you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below, then you get a free booklet of some of the tastiest blasphemous art available today. So, if you want some of this delicious blasphemy, and we're so generous that we update it for you guys weekly for free, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter below. You can also go to blasphemousart.com/ebook. That's blasphemousart.com/ebook. Sign up with your email, and you get free gifts of this tasty blasphemy. What could be better? So make sure you sign up. Link below.